Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. First of all, you guys know the drill. If you guys could please smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. If you guys could leave a comment down below, I don't care what it is, it super helps the channel out. It's Monday morning, it's bright and early. We're back in the shop. It's actually just about 5:45 a.m. and I just wanted to get a good start today. We have lots going on. We've been super busy, so sorry for the lack of videos, but we have a good plan this season and we're gonna get back to it. We've got lots of good content coming in and out of the shop, but I just wanted to give you guys a great update, and we had a bunch of things to get done and we ran into some issues here and there, so it just kind of delayed things, and I wanted to give you guys a solid update and some good content. So I'm gonna get to it. So in the shop, we do have the right-hand drive turbo Civic Coupe. Now you can see it's kind of clean for once. It's usually covered in dust. We had this up on the lift last week and I had a little bit of time. I went ahead and ordered a bunch of parts for it. Kind of hard to see, but we did do a Moroso oil pan. It already comes tapped with a 1/2 inch NPT thread. So you can put a 1/2 inch to 10 AN line fitting for the oil return. We were dealing with a lot of smoking issues, and I believe the oil was not draining properly into the pan. So we actually had to run just a little less oil than the top of the dipstick, and now it's draining perfectly. It's running awesome. We did order a new wideband sensor as well, so our wideband is reading accurately. We are getting ready to hit up Jamie from boostednorthwest.com, and we're gonna get out there and do some more tuning here shortly. I do have one last thing I want to fix on this thing before we get it out and about this year. Is the fuel gauge is not reading properly. I tried to fix the sending unit last year and I thought it worked, but it didn't. It's on and off working. Sometimes it reads full, sometimes it reads empty. Sometimes it shows the accurate reading, but we do need to change the sending unit. I do have a parts car, so we'll probably go ahead and try the sending unit from it, and we'll go ahead and remove the rear seat and get access to the fuel tank and install that. So basically our oil problems are fixed. We used to have a bunch of leaks as well. I do believe there could possibly be a small tiny leak up top coming from this thing, which could of course leak down to the bottom. But before, this thing was kind of caked in oil on the bottom, making a huge mess, especially when I was parked in the lift. It was making a huge mess. So I'm just gonna kind of peek under there, see if I can't show you guys. I know it's kind of dark, guys, but there's the Moroso pan and our oil return. We went ahead and did a Honda OEM oil pan gasket. Went ahead and did a full synthetic Mobil 1 oil change, Honda OEM oil filter. Everything's looking good. So this thing is just about ready for some more tuning. We are also gonna go ahead and get it detailed up and get it out for a picture, so we can go ahead and get a poster printed up as well. Now, underneath the lift, you can see I have my 1970 Chevrolet Nova in the shop. She's not much to look at right now, guys. I've had this thing for quite a few years now. It's been sitting outside, unfortunately. You can see it's already in high build. The bodywork's been pretty much done. Of course, we do have the nose for it as well, and we do have a 2-inch cowl induction hood. It's all primed, all bodyworked. So this absolutely looks awful, guys. But I promise you it's worse looking than it truly is. I already welded in some replacement floor pans a few years ago, so we are working on getting the whole interior prepped up, ready for some black epoxy primer, get it sealed up and protected before we can proceed to the outside and get it assembled and get this thing painted. I do have all the glass, all the parts. We went ahead and replaced this rear panel as well, and yeah, there you have it, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of keep picking away at this. I do have a storage unit that we can kind of put it in as we need to get it out of the way, so we're gonna go ahead and just keep picking up the inside when we have a little bit of time, as well as getting the jams all prepped up in the dash. And once we have all that done, we're gonna go ahead and get this in the booth, get it painted on the inside, and then we'll go ahead and assemble it with new hardware, and then we'll go ahead and start prepping the outside for paint. If you guys remember, about a year ago, we did my 1968 C10 shop truck, and the thing came out awesome in hot rod black. We are doing a similar paint scheme to this, just because of the condition of the car. It was pretty far gone, and it's still just a little on the rough side, and I just think restoring this one would cost an arm and a leg, and probably your leg as well, And so I think we have a pretty good plan for it. We do have a brand new set of wheels as well, so super excited to move forward on this. There's not much to look at now, but I promise guys, soon she will be beautiful. And up here on our lift, we have my stepdaughter's 2002 Nissan Xterra. I actually just bought it off of her, and she's now in a Ford Focus. And this thing had quite a few little issues. As you can see here, the Nova's not quite all the way back underneath. We have quite the oil leak from it just sitting. It's coming out the bottom of the pan. I'm sure the rear main's leaking a little bit, as well as lots of oil coming from up top. It appears that the valve covers on both sides are leaking and coming down, making a huge mess. I'm really hoping I don't have to drop the transmission to do the rear main, but we will see. If it's obviously leaking that much, we will have to do it. I just ordered a whole bunch of parts. You can see here we got some brand new tires. The other tires that were on this were installed in 2006, I believe. So this was probably the second set of tires that were ever on this vehicle. And they still have a little tread, but they are just, you know, weather cracked. And, you know, even though they're Michelin's, they are just in really rough shape and really old. So we went ahead and bought some brand new all-season tires. And up here on the workbench, we have some LED headlights. We have a brand new fuel pump. It does have a couple issues. It doesn't really want to stay running. It is running a little bit rough. Could just need a tune-up. I've already done an alternator on it before in the past when she got it. And we also did a cap and rotor as well. So we're going to go ahead and continue forward with replacing the rest of the, you know, serviceable parts. We have a water pump, timing belt set right here with seals. We have alternator belt, power steering belt, AC belt. We have an oil change, intake manifold gaskets, spark plug wires. We got spark plugs. You know, we have the works, guys. I'm gonna do pretty much anything it needs. We'll probably also go ahead and replace the suspension and go ahead and send it out for an alignment as well. I did have Teo go ahead and machine polish the whole vehicle and detail it inside and out, and the thing looks amazing, guys. I know she's up on the lift now. These vehicles are still pretty desirable, and this thing's in really good shape for its year. Just needs a little love as far as maintenance goes, and we're gonna go ahead and run through it, and we will go ahead and get this thing up for sale, and someone else will enjoy it. So over here we have our 93 Honda Del Sol. Now in the last vlog, we talked about whether or not we should turbo it or not. And a lot of you guys said yes, and you guys voted on the poll on our community page. And a lot of you guys said, yes, let's turbo it. So that's always kind of been the plan. I kind of wasn't sure, kind of went back and forth on it. Wasn't sure if it was really needed because we do have a turbo car for when we want to go fast. But about the only thing on this vehicle that it just lacks is power. So I think we'll go ahead and take care of that, guys. Plus, I think it'd be fun for the channel. We do want to do some 2 or 3 videos on the install, and then as well as get out and enjoy it this spring, this summer, and give you guys some good Honda content. And that's really the focus of the channel this year, is to get out in our vehicles and actually get out and enjoy some content in them. So we will be doing something a little bit different with this. We are going to be running a top mount turbo intercooler. And we are going to be trying to do some sort of like stock manifold converted to adapted turbo. We're going to try to keep the setup as OEM looking as possible, like if it were to come that way from the factory. We do have a Acura RDX that's a K23 turbo from the factory, which has a top mount intercooler as well. And so we're going to use that as a little bit of an inspiration to utilize our Subaru hood scoop. But we took this thing out for the weekend and was an absolute blast, guys. We just want to get this thing up to speed a little bit. So I think a little T28 turbo on 8 or 9 pounds of boost would be great. So look forward to that. We're going to be hooking up with boostednorthwest.com for some tuning, some parts, stuff like that along the way. So we will be ordering some parts for that here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And hopefully in about a month or so, we'll be seeing some turbo content as far as building this. So here is the main point of the video. I'm sure you guys can tell by the thumbnail, but we're gonna jump inside the booth and give you guys an update on our Fast and Furious Jetta replica build. So there it is, guys. It's been a long time coming. This car's been in our shop for about 11 months. We brought it in last April. It is now March. of 2023. And you can see we finally have our graphics from Modern Image installed. So shout out to Mike Hilliar at Signpost and Factory Fiction. He has a channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link down in the description for his channel. So please, all you guys, go over there and subscribe. I'm trying to get him back on the YouTube grind and get him uploading some good content, but he came through and just absolutely killed the graphics install. He really knew what he was doing. Really happy I had him install the graphics versus me. Teo and I, we went ahead and did the smaller decals on the hood, and you know, the number 4, the Toyo tires, all the ones down low, the ones on the spoiler, the ones on the rear bumper, but we just did not quite trust ourselves enough to go ahead and do these big ones on the sides. And you can see the detail there. They are multi-layered, and you can see the shadowing in here. That's actually embedded in the print file from Modern Image. But Mike came through and did an absolute killer job. Really knew what he was doing. Sometimes you just gotta leave things to the professionals, and somebody that does this stuff day to day. So super happy. Also was happy to let him be a part of the project. Super cool, guys. So shout out again to Mike Hilliar at Factory Fiction and the Signpost. Just did an absolute killer job. Nailed it, guys. Also, Modern Image. Jonathan at Modern Image. Huge shout out to him and his team. They supplied us with an absolute fantastic quality graphics kit. The first graphics kit that we had actually received was actually accidentally modified in their system and was stretched out just a little too long, probably for a newer Jetta that somebody was doing kind of like a tribute build to, and it was just a little too long. Everything was just kind of in the wrong position. The lower graphics were just blown up a little bit too big, and they were not in the right space. We could have cut them and placed them, but they would have all been damn near touching, and they would have been up against the door corner, up against the fender corner. They just weren't quite right. So we reached out to Modern Image, and they got back to us right away. Super stand-up, fantastic company. You don't run into that very often. I'm super happy to run into companies like that, because we would have done the same thing. And so shout out to Jonathan at Modern Image, and of course the rest of the Modern Image team, supplying us with some fantastic graphics, super good quality. Not only that, but they even reached out to us shortly after delivering them to us again, and just to make sure everything was right. And of course they were. So super happy with the outcome, guys. Super excited to show you guys. Super excited to finally be able to get this thing out on the road. We still have to get out to an alignment, so we're gonna be scheduling an alignment at Flat Black Automotive this week, get it out for an alignment, and we'll also drop it off at Pro Tint on the way back and go ahead and get some tinted windows. And there you have it, guys. Super excited. Everything looks so beautiful, so clean. The paint, the finish, the details, the graphics install is just killer, guys. Of course, it's a little bit dusty and dirty right now, so ignore that. But you can see the chrome that overlaid the other print file. So this was basically all one sheet. So all this was printed together. Now you can see the shadowing. In the original film, the shadowing was actually airbrushed on top of the multi-layered decal, but nowadays with the technology, they were able to actually print this all in one, so we can get our shadowing without airbrushing on top of the decal. And then we just overlaid the chrome, of course, and we did our green pinstripe for the laser beam, of course, afterwards. But everything looks awesome, guys. Jonathan at Modern Image and I stayed on FaceTime for about 30 to 40 minutes, and we took several measurements of the vehicle to nail down the actual size that the decals needed to be. Unfortunately, I've seen lots of replicas online that had the wrong dimensions, the wrong size decals, and it just did not look right. So we really wanted to nail the look as far as the hero car went, because we spent a lot of money and time on the paint and body, and as well as the restoration on this vehicle, to just stick the wrong graphics on it. So super excited, super pleased with that company. They do very good business. We are planning on going to San Diego this summer, and I plan on making an attempt to at least stop by and visit and say hi to the team at Modern Image. So came out absolutely awesome. Mike killed it. All the dimensions, the spacing, everything he did was just in perfect placement. Couldn't have came out any better. Super excited. Everything looks really good. So we got our Modern Image sign works, Koenig wheels, Wings West, Sparco, Sebring tuning, and cats. So there you have it, guys. Got our Toyo tires on the flare, our number 4 green laser beam. We got our MI on the hood. It is supposed to be towards the front, and it is supposed to have that angle on it like that as well. We have our DT Precision Auto Shop. We got our flares. We got our side marker smoked, tinted. We got our front side marker smoked and tinted. We have our front blinkers and reflectors. We have our Hella style headlights. Super excited. We have brand new front and rear glass. We refinished our wiper arms, brand new blades. We're gonna get it out for tint this week and in alignment, and we'll be ready to roll, guys. We went ahead and did a carbon fiber wrap from 3M on the rear spoiler, and we matched the curve right there and the spacing to the Hero car for an exact look, guys. We have our smoked third brake light. And you can see here we have our Too Soon Junior license plate frame. Or you can see our custom plate. So shout out to Eddie for doing that plate. Did a super killer job. Absolutely love that. Those are authentic tabs from California, new old stock. And you can see our decals on our rear bumper. Originally, the Sebring tuning was just a little bit on the wrong font. The S was the wrong size, and the tuning was straight up and down, not in italics, so we had that fixed. Our Alpine was enlarged, just like the Hero car, and our spacing has been done just like the Hero car as well. We got our DTM style muffler. We added some brackets on the bottom of the rear lip to help support it, help hold it up, because the Wings West kit is kind of hit and miss on as far as the fitment. It's not bad, but of course you got to do a little bit of work on your end to make sure that these kits fit and stay up and hold themselves in place. Our wheels, you can see here we do have our wheels. We did not go with the Koenig since these are replicas. We went with our own branding. You can see our N for the Nitro Autolab. And you can see there we did Nitro Autolab instead of the Koenig decal there as well. All powder coated white by Advanced Powder Coating in Bellingham, Washington. And you can see here we have our red anodized valve stem cap and our red anodized center caps. We have full disc brakes front and rear. And we have replacement calipers all the way around. We have fully adjustable coilovers. Front and rear slotted drilled rotors. We're running 12mm spacers on the rear. We have 5mm spacers in the front. You can see there, very small spacer. But once again, we're representing our brand, incorporating it very mildly into the build. And absolutely loving how that came out. Super pleased. We do have a couple bugs to work out underneath the hood as far as how it's running, but everything is pretty solid. Does run and drive really good, really smooth. Once we get it out for alignment, we'll do a little more driving. We have a small vacuum line issue, so we're trying to figure that out. These cars are getting old, so it's almost like everything we touch, we kind of have to go a little bit further, because you fix one thing and two things break. So of course, everything's good. We are going to take a little bit of a break from this build. We are going to get it out this year. We don't want it to be torn apart during the most important time of the year. We want to get it out for shows, cars and coffee meets, stuff like that. So we are going to go ahead and take a little bit of break since the exterior is finished. But then again, after the summer, we're gonna go ahead and hit it, and we are gonna go ahead and proceed forward with the interior, like the Sparco seats, the auto power roll cage, steering wheel, stuff like that. So we are still looking for the mirrors. We are currently running the OEM mirrors color matched. It's supposed to have the Haggis mirrors if we were wanting to match the Hero car, which that's been our inspiration for the build the entire time. So we are still eventually looking for a pair of Haggis mirrors to go ahead and color match and get on the vehicle. But for now, we are movie car correct, so we are gonna go ahead and stick with the stock mirrors. That's what we have for now. It looks great. It's not technically wrong because that is what was in the movie. But as far as the Hero car goes, it was supposed to have the Haggis style mirrors. So we are on the lookout for those. So if anybody has a set of those laying around and they're willing to get rid of, please reach out to us. Information in the description below. But tell me what you guys think, guys. Super clean. Everybody that's, you know, come in, customers, they've seen this car sitting in the background. They've all complimented it. You'd have to be blind to not notice that this car's been fully restored to back to mint condition, and extreme high detail, of course, too, as well. Mikey went ahead and put a full stainless exhaust system on it. Sounds pretty clean, to be honest. And there you have it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. We've spent the last 11 months and over that, if you consider the planning, building this car. And we've reflected 2 pictures of the Hero 1 car in every detail possible. And that was our goal, is to make a Hero 1 replica car. And so far, our exterior is basically finished, besides the mirrors. And we do plan on getting some front splitters to go on the bottom part of that front lip, mostly to replicate the Hero car, but also just to protect the front lip in case we ever park a little too close to a curb or something like that. It will protect the paint. So there you guys have it. We are gonna try to get it out for an alignment and tint this week, and it will be pretty much wrapped up until after summer, and we'll go ahead and proceed forward with the interior. But we want to get it out and get some good content and stuff like that. So anyways, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I really want to get some feedback. I'm super excited to get out and get some good content with it. So like this video, leave a comment down below. If you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Rah!
Ooh, like LeBron though, or like Bonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do.